One. There we go. It is Friday night. This is, I believe, according to YouTube, this is episode number 52. So if any of you guys are keeping track, that means 1 year, right? So happy 1 year, according to YouTube. I haven't actually counted them up. So, but according to YouTube's data, the first live aired February 4th of 2023. And this is February 2nd of 2024. So this should mark the 1 year anniversary. So that's kind of cool. Thank you so much for you guys that come in here week after week after week and listen to me drone on. And last week we've had some short ones. We've done live from hotel rooms. We've done, I've been sick a couple of times and still tried to muddle through, and but all the sickness is gone. Everything's good now. In part, a real dear friend brought me her famous chicken noodle soup, or chicken and noodles, I guess, and they were absolutely delicious. So I think that was the turning point. It was definitely the chicken and noodles, not the medications. So I still think I sound a little froggy, but it's just a residual. I feel absolutely fine. So yeah. So thank you guys, because I couldn't have done this without you guys. So let's see who's here. We're gonna switch over, maybe do this one, and so I can read the comments. Scott's here. Hi, Sly. And Scott is one of the ones who has consistently been with me since the get-go, since before I even was doing live streams. So thank you very much, Scott. I appreciate you so much. Friday nights are kind of hard on me because I have to turn little man over to his mom or dad, give him back, and it always leaves me. He throws a super fit, right? He would rather, I think, spend 3 or 4 nights a week with me and 1 or 2 nights a week with them. And that's not how this grandparenting thing works. You only get me 1 night a week, sometimes 2, but never 3 or 4 unless we're on vacation. And every single time it's like a grand mal fit, right? Leaving Granny. Uh, so I would come back to an empty house, and honestly, I would be very lonely without you guys on Friday nights. So thank you for being there for me. You rock. That's all I can say, is you guys are the bomb diggity. And he's saying, congratulations, well done. Mookie Max says, right on time. Thank you. There's actually a timer that tells me when to... It's not me. There's a timer that tells me when to go on. Jeff. Jeff. So Jeff got a new camera bag. Now, I don't know if he's using it for a camera bag or if he's using it for something else. But he sent a picture. I responded, but he never sent any more. So I do kind of want to show that to you guys. So I pulled up some pictures. Okay. So, am I even on the right camera? No, I'm not. Why am I not? There. Now I am. Okay. I'm still learning how all these buttons work. Okay. Okay, so I think they're in reverse order, honestly. Yeah, that's not a good picture. I don't know why that. You play with these things. Yeah, don't know how to get it smaller. Nope, not like that. Okay, well, let's try picture number 2. Anyway, it's the Vanguard Aspire 41. And they're all going to be like that. Wow. It didn't look like that when I tested this. But it's a backloader, which Jeff knows. Y'all know I like my backloading backpacks. Um, and then the front admin pouch. And it's a Vanguard. So I'm sure that there are many hidden pockets to this thing uh, that those horrible pictures, and don't ask me why they did that, because they didn't in the preview. So go figure. But it looks like a fantastic bag, Jeff, and it doesn't look like it was too pricey. So that is always something that, I look for, is it has to be a good value too. So he's saying hello, great to see you. And Roy is saying good day, Sly, because Roy talks with an accent. I don't know if any of you have figured that out. And Mookie is saying hello there to Scott, Jeff, and Roy. Jeff says, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe. Uh, you're not down if you're not down, so that way you don't miss an awesome live show with Sly. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you very much. Uh, and Scott's saying hello to everybody. And Lewis pops in, says, hi, everyone. Hey, Lewis, how you doing? I caught your little blippy on your car, how to buy tires. And it was funny because I got new tires last July, and I did exactly what you did. So it was hilarious. I'm watching that going, oh my gosh, there's somebody else out there that does this. I actually, I went up a size, right? I think that's a thing with people. I'm not sure. They put these little bitty tires on these cars and trucks, and you can always size up, right? So, but I did the little drawing, and I superimposed the bigger tire over to see, and then I went out and made sure I could still turn the front wheel, and how much it would affect the speedometer by going up a bigger tire size, and the whole, yeah, I'm such a nerd about that stuff. But um but I'm still, they've been on 6-7 months, and I'm still happy with my purchase. So I ended up going with the Pirelli Scorpion, I believe is what it's called. It makes little PSs for the tire tread. Kind of cool. But, Jeff says, I did send them, so you never got them. I showed them all the different ways I packed the bag. How do I send? I can send there on my mobile. Okay. You should be able to send them as a file, but what I have found out with email is if there are too many megabytes, the email won't ever come through. So a lot of times you have to send, I think about 2 is as many as I can send to other people. If I try sending like a whole bunch of them, I have to do it through a WeTransfer, I think is what it's called. So, that's probably, if you send a bunch of them, that's probably why I didn't get them, because you're very limited on how big the file can be sending it through email. Scott says, ooh, that backpack looks sweet. Yes, I looked at it more in depth. You can go, now, I will say, it's not available here in the States. So, it is available in Australia and England, and I believe Canada, but it's not available in the US. So, but Jeff lives in Australia, so that's how he got one. Roy's saying good day to Mookie Mac. I just like that name, Mookie Mac. What a fun name. $68 Australian. Okay, I have no idea how your currency and the dollar, yeah, no idea. Lewis says, yeah, I like meaty tires. I do too. I don't like them to really stick out. very far past the fender. And one of my considerations was there wasn't a lot of room front and back. There was a ton of room on top. So I knew I could have gone a lot taller. But you have to realize if you go taller, the front and back get bigger too, and there wasn't a lot of room. So I was out there with a tape measure and turning the tires and measuring and seeing how much. Yeah, it was. I had people at work were kind of laughing at me, but like I said, I'm very happy with the ones I picked. It just made my truck look just a little bit beefier, and it's a Tacoma, so it's not a big truck anyway, right? So trying to make it look a little beefier, yeah, y'all get the gist. Jeff says, it's a great little bag, Scott. I got it as I'm going away next week and wanted a smaller bag this time. It's nice and light. Well, Jeff, probably not in time for your trip, but that's kind of tonight's topic is, can you make any bag into a camera bag? Because what I'm finding is there's a lot of what they call premium bags. They're really, really nice bags, but they're not camera bags. They don't have camera inserts, but they're really, really nice backpacks, and they have a lot of features that I like and I want. They're just not set up to hold a camera. So I've been doing a little investigative research because I'm kind of OCD about this research thing. That's kind of my thing. And I've found out some things. Roy's got a question. And Roy, hun, I read every comment, so if you don't feel like typing 3 Qs, I still got you. Do you guys in a cold weather climate use cold weather tires? Not here. Now I understand that up further north, they have a tire that has like I think it's a mud and snow tire, and it actually has holes for the studs. You wouldn't want to drive those year round, you would only want to use those in the snow. But a lot of the northern states in Canada, man, they get a lot of snow for a longer period of time. In Oklahoma, we're really too far south, which is why when that cold front came through, number one, it was unwelcome. And number two, we don't normally have that. We get about 3 days to a week, maybe, of semi-cold weather in the 20s. Some winters it hasn't even gotten into the teens. So we're a little far south to experience or to need those cold weather tires. Now, what I did notice is I got in my truck one morning because I worked overnights, and my tire pressure warning light was on. And I have a thing where you can go and see how much pressure's in each tire. And I was down to like 23 pounds a tire because it had gotten so cold and stayed cold. So the next time I think the next day it was in the 40s or 50s. I just popped over and aired all my tires up, got them back where they're supposed to be, and they haven't lost a pound. So we are through for now with that extreme cold, and now we're having a normal winter where it's in the 30s at night and it gets into the 50s or 60s during the day. So that is more of a normal winter for Oklahoma. And I gotta tell you, I'm loving it. It takes, what was it, Peter talking about being grateful? I'm very grateful. Jim's here. Hi, Sly. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. How you doing, Jim? I hear you are southern bound in a couple of weeks. That'll be exciting. You and Peter have got to record and let him show that, later. Where do I find the email to send? I cannot find it. Super, super simple, Jeff. It is slyreader@mail.com. Slyreader, one word, @mail.com. Super simple. Uh, Mookie says, here in some U.S. states where it snows, we are still allowed snow tires that have metal studs on them. Okay, that's what I was talking about. They actually have holes, and you go in, and the tire shop will put these little, they're teeny tiny things, but the tires actually have holes in them for those studs. So, um, studded tires, so we get a grip on ice and snow. Yes. So, like I said, we don't need them here. So, uh, I had a set of, I think they were BF Goodrich. I think. Don't get me lying, but I think that's what they were. Uh, Great big mud and snow tires, and they had those little holes in them. Now, uh, the game plan was to use them on the truck I have now, and I ended up selling them and buying the Pirelli tires because I like them better. So, watching cars sliding all over the ice looks hilarious. It is until you're in the car and you have no control. Yeah. You go to turn the wheel, nothing happens. You go to step on the brake, nothing happens. Other than usually lights come on your dash letting you know that you're sliding. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. So, okay. Part of my research, and everything finally came in this week. So I'm going to start making videos about this. Can any bag work as a camera bag? And the answer I'm finding is yes, but with some caveats. So I went back to Temu because I was kind of impressed with the backpack, honestly, guys. It takes quite a bit to impress me as a whole. Now, I would not call that a premium backpack, okay? That's not what I'm talking about. It's probably good for one school year backpack if you're not hard on your stuff. Okay. But anyway, I got this cute little, it's called an insert. And in the picture that they showed, it looked really like it might fit the bill. It gets a big fat no. Okay. Let's see if I can show this to you. Okay. So the outside is canvas. And it's a really nice canvas. I have no problems with the outside of this bag. That canvas material is great. And Chris was probably not going to pick up how noisy this bag is. It'll probably block it out. But if you can hear any of that rustling, the inside of this bag, and I got a light because you can't see, it's like, number one, it's black, which I don't like. But the inside of this bag has got it's got a lot of dividers. I'll give them that. But they are so thin and crinkly. Like there is not 1 ounce of padding anywhere on this bag. So would I put my camera gear in here? Absolutely not. You might use this for I don't know, a diaper bag, maybe? Something that absolutely would not break. So, me being me, I had to go out and get a timber bag. And I read up a little bit. Now, I had already read up on timber before, but because my absolute of all time so far camera backpack is a timber. But they started out as a company making these insert bags. So you could do exactly what I'm getting ready to do. I started to say fixing to do, but some of you guys may not know what fixing to do means. It means getting ready to do in Oakley slang. This thing is so well made. I cannot say enough good things about this. It's got the padded dividers. You can carry it. It comes with a strap. So you can carry this as a whole separate, just by itself type bag if you wanted to. But my goal is to put it in a premium backpack and show you the inside of this thing. There you go. It's got super nice dividers. It's got, and you can't see that either, even though it's not black. There you go. It's got these little dividers that where you can put like two lenses on top of each other. And it's just everything about this bag is premium. It's got a little pocket for your knickknacks. And then it's got pockets on all four sides. So I'm not really for the live stream, I'm not really set up for product like when I do a video. So I have to change a bunch of stuff around, and those shots have to be shot separate from when I talk to the camera because all that stuff's in the way of the camera. So it's okay. That's not what this is, my Friday Night Live, so not a thing. But anyway, so you can get a premium backpack for less than half the price of a premium camera bag. Yeah. So add $40 to the price, $45, whatever this was. And then all of a sudden your $100 premium backpack, you've just turned it into a premium camera bag without paying the $300 or $400. So there is that. Always trying to find a way to save some money. And Peter made it. Hi guys, I made it. I actually got to watch your show tonight. Very informative. And Roy's saying good day to Peter. Sorry I missed your show. And Peter's saying I missed you. He's kind of like me. His Friday nights are, I don't think they're quite as traumatic. He doesn't have a 4-year-old that is begging not to leave, but I think we all kind of look forward to our Fridays or our Saturdays or whatever day of the week we all get together, because you guys do mean a lot to me. And I know you mean a lot to Peter too. Jeff says, let me know if you received. I sent some through. Okay. So they come through on my PC, not on my Mac. So I will let you know if I get those. Roy's talking to Peter. He said, I'm sure you had plenty of other obnoxious guests. No, he really didn't have anyone obnoxious. I don't think. And he says, no one does it as good as you, Roy. See, we love you, Roy. Mookie Mac said, did that first bag come from Temu? Yes. No, yes, Temu. Yes, this one. So, Mookie, I got a regular backpack. So a bunch of my friends have been buying clothing off Temu and just absolutely raving about it. Well, I bought 2 shirts. I was happy with one, not so happy with the other. I'm not really into the whole clothes thing. I wore jeans and a hoodie in the winter. That's pretty much my attire the entire winter. Occasionally I'll throw a flannel shirt on, maybe. But for the most part, it's jeans and a hoodie. And so they have some hoodies, but they're like a polyester. Well, if you've ever worn a polyester hoodie when it's cold, that polyester gets really cold. Like your body heat can't keep up with. So cotton rich hoodies work so much better in the cold. So anyway, I looked for something else, and I've had a couple of people, which this kind of throws me, and I guess I can do it because I like all the stuff they're talking about. But I've had some requests to do more of an EDC swing on things. So I thought, well, I can try to do some of that. But generally speaking, I carry a camera with me. Now, like right now, I would have no problem leaving it in the truck while I ran into a store. I would never leave it in the truck overnight. But when it was like 3 degrees, I wouldn't. I didn't even take my camera. By the same token, we get over 100 degrees here in the summer, and I won't take my camera in that heat either. So, but if it's if it's normal weather, like right now, my camera bag goes with me. It's just a given. So, um, and I carry the little Timba Fulton 10, I believe is what it's called. Um, it's got plenty of room for what I carry, and then it's got room on top for what I would carry like in a fanny pack. And so that goes everywhere with me. But and so it's like an EDC bag that's a camera bag. So I wanted to see if I could take some of these premium backpacks and make them a camera bag. And I think I figured it out. But I do need to play with it a little bit more before I make the video. So, yeah, we'll see. Peter says, so basically, pertains to that bag, there's no protection for your gear. If it gets hit, the gear is going to feel it. Yeah, I don't... This is not... No. Do not buy this to put your camera in. Okay? This would be a fantastic bag if you have a toddler or something and you want to, like, you have a backpack and you want to put some diapers in here, but you don't always have the toddler, so you don't always need it to be a diaper bag. You could take this out. That would be good, but no cameras. If I had a great big circle with an X through it, no cameras. There's no way. The Timba bag, yes way. Peter says, ouch. Yeah, there is absolutely no way. I wouldn't even put a point and shoot in that Temu bag. I mean, there is no protection whatsoever. The front pocket of my hoodie offers more protection for a point and shoot camera than that thing does. Okay? So are you getting the point? There's no protection. Okay. Roy says, if I'm going to suffer, then my camera is too. Well, yeah, no. I treat my cameras probably better than I treat myself, so uh yeah, no. My cameras are kind of my baby. I kind of like them. Jeff says, you're just like me when it comes to a camera. I never leave home without it. I always have some kind of a camera besides my phone. Whether it's the Osmo Action or the G7X or the M6. It just depends on what I think I'm going to be doing that day. Because just like yesterday, uh, it was absolutely adorable. My grandson was, I met his mom and they were at a playground, and he was adorable. And so Granny got the shot. Granny gets a lot of shots that other people would miss. I guess you could take your phone out and take a picture, but, you know. I don't see any of your Fun Oklahoma group tonight. Where are they? Missing French Recovery Group? Well, um, the big boy is gaming. I think my daughter's at work. I'm not sure. The card game, there is a card game on Friday night. And I would rather spend my time with you guys than play cards on Friday. Sometimes I play cards on Saturday. But I am going to be starting repairs on the house, and the guy is going to be here on every Saturday. So they had to take me off the roster as far as subbing because that's going to be 6 hours every Saturday that he's going to come and do something to the house. So we are going to start that, and hopefully within 6 months it'll be a completely different house. We'll see. And if I still don't want to stay here, I can always sell it, right? But, so I started picking up little things that technically you can do an EDC bag on the cheap. Don't know that I would. So one of the things, and guys, I'm not a big survivalist. You guys probably know me well enough to know by now. I can survive almost any situation, but I am not one that I don't stockpile bullets and water and rations of food, and so not really sure why people want me to do like an EDC type thing, because when I think EDC, that's what I think. Like, they talk about get home bags, and yeah, I'm not really about that. What I am about is I've been a mom for 30 years. So my get home bag consists of what would I need if I have a flat tire and I've got to get my kids home. Okay. Um, it's not really a survivalist type thing. So I went to Walmart and I got stuff that technically qualifies for what they call EDC. But should you use it? Now, if you're on a budget and you want to do it on the cheap, then absolutely. But I did want to show you the difference between a, well, and I think the camera will be all right with this. I did test this out beforehand. So this is a $5 flashlight. Okay. You can at least see if you've dropped your keys where they are in the dark. This doesn't do bad. Now, it takes 3 AAA batteries. Not rechargeable, none of that good stuff. And honestly, you're not going to get probably much more than 10 feet away from you, if you get that much. Okay, so this is the flashlight I actually carry. And this thing, as you can see, even in the camera's picking it up. I don't want to show it right at the camera because it'll blind it. But as you can see, how can I show that to you? This little thing is so much brighter. Let's see if it'll work on this. Okay, so $5 flashlight here. This thing is not, I think it may be $5 or $6, but this thing will give some throw. And I actually, sometimes it's in my, what do you call it? My little fanny pack thing. Most of the time, this stays on my person, and I use it all the time. Peter carries a flashlight with him, and he rarely leaves the house. So yeah, I don't know how much of it EDC. I don't know how well those videos are going to do, but I have been asked by more than one person, so I figured I'd give it a shot. One thing I've learned about YouTube is you never know the direction it's going to take you. So, um, I got a bag in that I'm kind of excited about. And the thing is like a cave. It's y'all can't see that. It's it's tall. It's really tall. It doesn't have, I think it only has the top access. And so if you put anything in that and you need something on the bottom, I know everybody has experiences where you have to take everything out to get to that thing on the bottom. And I'm not a fan of that. But I have gotten a couple of boundary supply bags in here that absolutely are phenomenal everyday carry premium backpacks. The one actually came with a camera cube, and they make a camera cube for the other one, but it is it's a lot pricier than the $41 Timba. So there's that. Roy says any spare space in my bag gets bubble wrap or some of those inflated pillows for packaging. Yes. And that, that was another thing is I got that Wandered Veer, which is totally packable. I love that bag. That thing is like indestructible, yet packable, right? And it has a place specifically for, now they promote it with a blow up camera cube thing, which I'm not really a fan of, because it's a blow up thing and it's one compartment is all you can carry, something in one compartment. But this Timba thing will fit perfectly in it, and you can carry a multitude of cameras or lenses or whatever you need to carry. So we're going to test these out in a few different bags and see how it works, and see if I can incorporate, okay, I want to get everybody home safely, and I want to be prepared for a few different situations, Now I'm not going to carry jumper cables in my backpack. It's like, it's not going to happen. But I do carry jumper cables in my truck, especially this time of year when it's cold, because if you have, this is the time of year where if your battery's getting weak, it's not going to tell you, hey, sometimes they don't say, hey, I'm getting a little weak. They just quit. And I do have AAA, but you're sitting there, you can't start your car. Can't start your car, you don't have heat. And a lot of times people will stop and give you a jump. So, there's that. Mookie Max says, Sly is not a doomsday prepper. Not at all. Not in even the least. Right? If it happens, I'll probably go, probably should have prepped more. You'll find, Mookie, that I tend to live life by the seat of my pants, as my mother used to say. I just kind of take things as they come and usually roll with the punches. So, Lewis made it. Hello, Sly and friends. Love you. Lewis, we love you. We have missed you. I don't know what's going on with you and everything, but your absence is always notable, right? It's kind of like when Scott misses. Everybody has lives, and I get that, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate so much that you take time out of your Friday night. I mean, it's kind of a big thing, and spend it with me, right? Or Peter, or Saturday night with Lewis. But we do miss you when you're not here. So all the regulars are, you know, you're when you're not here, your lack of presence is felt. Let's put it that way. So, but so I have been re-examining. Now in my truck, I carry a bigger flashlight. I think I actually have two in there right now. I carry a more, um, not like I want to kill you knife, but a bigger knife than what I carry in my fanny packs or in my pocket or, whatever. For years, this has been my absolute favorite knife because of its size, and it's a box blade with these little mini blades, and this will do 9 out of 10 anything I need to cut. 90%. This will do it. All right. But in my truck, I do have a bigger um, that stays in my truck. So I'm rarely away from my truck unless I'm riding with somebody. And then I know this sounds presumptuous, but I fully expect them to have everything I have in my truck. So if we get stranded, what do you mean you don't have jumper cables? So, you know, usually if it's just me and one other person, I drive, because I am somewhat prepared, but no, I am not a prepper. Scott says, I'm always bummed when I miss the presentation live. Well, yeah, we miss you terribly, and your lack of presence is noticed. But if you have something going on Friday night, you know, I completely get it. Um, and yes, what I wanted to ask you last week, I think, was I saw a picture of you and your daughter, who's very pretty, by the way, and she was all bundled up and had on a nice down coat, and you could tell the snow in the background behind you guys, and you could tell it was cold, and you're in just a little lightweight jacket. And I'm thinking, Scott, put on a coat. You made me cold just looking at the picture. Roy says a Leatherman type knife has many uses. So I have lost so many Leatherman. Go figure. I'm going to say I lost them because I don't want to think anybody's taken them. Because I really don't think they have. I just can't find them. So somewhere I don't think they're in my truck because I've looked a lot. And I've looked in my house too and I can't find them. So odds are there's a better chance they got lost in the house than they did in my truck. But they all have like the sheaths that they fit in. So how do you lose something like that? You know, yeah, I don't tear my stuff up. I just lose it. Haven't lost a camera yet. That's one for me, right? And the thing I like about the original Leatherman that I had was it had a little pair of scissors on it. And somewhere, I have no idea where it is right now, I found a thing at Walmart that has a little pair of scissors, and I don't have it in here. Um, I got and y'all don't make fun of me because I can't pronounce this, a Victorinox, I think is how you say it. And it's just a little bitty, it looks like a Swiss Army knife, kind of, but it's little bitty, it's very, very thin. It has, I believe it has a knife that is, it's so little I don't know what it's for. And then it has a little pair of scissors. And so what prompted that was we went to somewhere. Not sure which vacation that was, but we went somewhere and little man had to wear a wristband. And we explained As long as you have that on, you can do anything in the park. So don't take it off. And when we leave, I think we were there 2 or 3 days. When we leave, we will take it off of you, but leave it on for 2 or 3 days, and that way you can get into all the attractions that wherever we were. I don't remember if that was the zoo or Great Wolf Lodge, or I don't remember where it was, but he was good as gold. Absolutely didn't mention it one time while we were there. The minute we get in the car to come home, he starts tugging at it and pulling at it, and I want this off right now. I didn't feel comfortable even with this little bitty blade up against his little bitty wrist, right? And so, and I didn't have a pair of scissors. My daughter didn't have a pair of scissors, and so we ended up very, very, very carefully cutting this thing off of him. But so now I have this little bitty, I want to say it's called a Victorinox, I think is how you say it. But it's got a little pair of scissors, perfect for cutting those little armbands off. So, but my Leatherman, that's one of the things I loved about it, was it had a little pair of scissors on it. So, Lewis says, I've just refound my Leatherman Rev just the other day. Yeah, I don't know how they walk off. I'll find it, it'll be in a drawer or somewhere that actually makes pretty good sense, but I can't find it to save my life right now. And I think I have 3 Leatherman. Now I only have one that has a pair of scissors. The other 2 don't. So the one with the scissors is the one I've been looking for, and I can't find it. So I've got this little Victorinox knife thing, and just because it has that little pair of scissors. Yeah. Roy says, small rig makes a great little camera toolkit type tool. So I did get the Ulanzi. I have no idea where it is right now. I did get the Ulanzi version. It doesn't have scissors on it. It has like all the different sizes of the little hex key things and screwdrivers, and and it's doesn't take up hardly any room, and everything folds flat, but no scissors. So, yeah, there's that. And the the genuine Swiss Army knife is too thick. It's too bulky for what I wanted. So, is the genuine Swiss Army knife, is it made by Victorinox? Because it looks like the same symbol. It's just mine. I honestly, I could tell you where it is right now. I'm pretty sure it's in. I know for a fact it's in the sling bag that I was carrying today. So, it was in one of those pouches. By the way, which I have not seen it available on Amazon again yet, but that company, Why Ship Matrix, that they had that pouch, and I've shown you guys that pouch several times. The front clasp came off, right? And thankfully, I saw it, and it was there to gather up the pieces, and I tried pushing it back on, and it doesn't push. It screws. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's fantastic. And so I just screwed it back on and ready to rock and roll again. Because a lot of times, like with rivets and stuff, if something comes loose, you can't push it back on with your hand. Usually if you have a pair of pliers, you can get it back on. But with this having threads and it just screwed back on, I was able to do it without any tools required. And so far, so good. I mean, it's been probably a week ago, and it's still tight. So I don't know how it worked its way off to begin with, But the fact that it had threads and you could just screw it back on is another plus. So I just wanted to give you a little update on that. Roy says, I carry a chainsaw. You could have borrowed it to take little man's band off. Yeah, well, I was worried about this little bitty knife. Um, they, you know, 4-year-olds just, unless they're asleep, they don't sit still very long. And especially when they want this off now, you know. Victorinox, mind the spelling, is the genuine original Swiss Army knife. Okay, that Victorinox, Victorinox, Victorinox. That anyway, that's the same company that makes this little bitty thin. Um, it does have a knife on it, and I think it has a metal nail file on the other side, but it has a little bitty pair of scissors. That's why I got it, and it wasn't expensive. So I have those. I know you've seen them. Those scissors that they fold up into themselves, and they're about yay big, but even they are bigger than this little bitty uh, Victorinox. Thank you, Roy. Jeff says, it was great to be with you all. I will say bye. I have both my little man and granddaughter over staying. Stay safe, have a great weekend, and as always, stay awesome. Enjoy them so much. Um, because my little man is growing like a weed, and he's already 4, and it's not going to be too long before he's not going to want to spend all this time with Granny. So soak it up, Jeff, because when you get a chance to have those grandbabies, it's really special. So enjoy your weekend, sir, and we will hopefully see you next week, and I will look for those pictures when I get done with this. So thanks for coming in. Um, but yeah, I thought I would kind of do, you can do an EDC on the cheap, but should you? Um, I know a lot of people that, especially younger, I don't know as many girls that do this, but younger guys, they have, a new family and young kids, and they're the ones that especially need this, but they don't really have the money to spend on it. Like, there's a guy that I absolutely adore, Marine X. I love his videos, and he has all he has like the $200 nutsack, which is a brand. Um, he has $200 knives, and he has all this really expensive EDC stuff, and he's got babies too. And so, something like this to put in your nice bag would be great to hold diapers. It's got a place for like the sippy cups, right? I mean, I could see this being a diaper in bag insert, or an insert into to hold diaper stuff. I could see that. But yeah, don't put anything breakable in there. That's yeah. And it's cheap. So, I can kind of see, and I fully understand, you want your money to go towards the kids, not towards a flashlight. Okay? So I get it. So I will try to do one on the super cheap, so you have the basics without spending, you know, $500-600 for a get home bag. But uh, this bag I bought, I tried to do research on it. I looked it up and everything, and every video that could find, every video without exception, these people had assault pistols in them. That's not me. I don't care. I don't even own an assault pistol. Well, Guys, I believe we're in the middle of an earthquake. Wow. That was kind of scary. Um, okay. I think we just had an earthquake because the whole house just shook. And I'm not in a trailer. So the house is on a foundation. But that was kind of scary. Wow. Okay. Like I could feel the floor and everything shake. Uh, Kyle. Kyle, where you go, bud? We got a storm going on right now and the power almost went out. Did you feel an earthquake just now? Um, Roy's on the other side of the world, so he probably did not. I had lots of gloves with built-in lights until the grandkids found them. Yeah, there's that. My kids are notorious for thinking I have something that's really cool, and it ends up with them. Uncle G, did you just feel a earthquake? Because my house just shook a lot. Stuff in the closet over there just fell off the shelf. So that was kind of scary. It was very, very short lived, but it was kind of scary. Lewis is saying, really? Yeah. Yeah, like the whole house. I could feel the floor shaking, and that was like totally unexpected. Roy says, moved to Australia, no earthquakes. uh, Mookie's saying, oh my. So, Uncle G is my son who lives in Tulsa, which is about 45 minutes from where I am. And, uh, and he's saying, you guys feel that earthquake? That was huge. Yeah, that was kind of scary. Yeah, live on the air, an earthquake. So, they usually start what they call I think they call it the epicenter, is usually halfway between Tulsa and Oklahoma City. And so we just get like the ripple effect, right? We usually don't get them real strong. Now, we had one when I lived in Tulsa that actually I thought the house was coming down because they just, when houses, they're not built to move. Okay. Um, yeah, you can go with all the mobile home jokes you want to, but I'm in a house on a foundation, so I'm not in a mobile home. This house was, when it was built, it was never built to move, and so when the floor starts moving and things start falling off shelves and stuff, it's a major thing. And Kyle says, nope, he did not feel a thing. So it must have come this way. Scott says, possibly an explosion, any chemical plants nearby. No, I don't think so. We have several power plants, but I didn't hear anything. Uh, and a lot of times with these earthquakes, you just feel it was pretty much just like that. I I have I always have a bottle of water on my nightstand, and sometimes when you're in bed, you don't always feel them, but you'll see the water move. It's kind of weird. Those are not as prevalent as what just hit. That was pretty severe. So, uh, Mookie says, I just asked about earthquakes last week, right? Mookie saying 5.7 recorded on Oklahoma. Was that the one that just hit just now? 5.7. I don't even know how they rate them. I know tornadoes, but not really earthquakes because we don't get that many of them. And if we do, it'll just be like you won't even feel it. You won't hear anything. Nothing falls off shelves or anything. You'll just see like kind of like Jurassic Park when the T-Rex was coming and the water would just like shake, shake, shake. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Um, So, but that was like the whole house shook. So, but I didn't hear anything explode. So I'm thinking it was probably, uh, and if my son felt it too, then yeah, that was an earthquake. So never a dull moment, right? But we do have tornadoes, and usually not in the winter. But says look like it happened in the middle of the state. Just reported. Okay, so it usually happens around a little town called Chandler. Seems to be an epicenter for a lot of them, which is Oklahoma City is like almost dead in the middle of the state, and Chandler is about an hour this side. And Kyle is closer to Oklahoma City, and he said he didn't feel anything. So either the wave hasn't gotten to him yet, or it just came this way for whatever reason. Roy says you may have to crawl into your pile of bags for safety, right? Um, yeah, for tornadoes, I know exactly what to do. For earthquakes, not so much. Because there's like no wind. The ground is just shaking. So, yeah, I don't really know what to do for an earthquake. I have no evacuation plan. Let's put it that way. So, but it was very short lived. It just took me by surprise when I heard something fall off the shelf. A shelf that doesn't move. That was my first inkling. And then I started feeling the ground under my feet shake. So, yeah, that was kind of. But so, what do you guys think of my um, thought process of going kind of an EDC side road? Now, I don't want to say route because I'm going to stay with the bags, but kind of just a side thing. Um, I mean, I like all that stuff. It's gadgets and gizmos aplenty, and I'm all about gadgets and gizmos. So, um, but I don't know that there's a lot of women doing those. Nor do I think there would be a lot of women interested in doing those. Um, women are more about making their lives easier. And I don't know too many women that want to or that are willing to get out and put battery cables on their car to start their car. More likely, they would call somebody, the man in their life, to come and, my car's stranded at Walmart. Can you come get me? Type thing. So, um, pretty much every woman I know would either call me if they don't have a spouse, or they have AAA. Um, I have AAA because my son has some older cars that need to be towed quite often. I don't think I've ever used AAA, uh, but I've used it 3 times for my son, I think. So, yeah. I don't know if it would go over well or if it would not go over well. Not really sure. So, your feedback is welcome, is what I'm saying. Um, if you think it's a silly idea, then I won't do it. Oh, here's that thing I was talking about. And you know what? I don't know if this has scissors or not, to be honest with you. This was $5 at Walmart. Uh, you can keep from pinching yourself. And I don't see. Nope, no scissors. So it's got all the obligatory nail file. Does anybody ever use these nail files? That would have to be like that is. I don't think that's for your fingers. Just saying that is I've never seen one of these in a nail shop. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that out there. And then it's got your obviously your bottle opener and a couple more things you can't get out. It does have a knife, but see, you can't reach down in there. There it is. Kind of hard to get out. So it does have kind of a knife with a serrated edge there, but the other side is, I think it has another knife. Yep, but it does not have a serrated edge. And a Phillips screwdriver and a, well, if that's a bottle opener, what is that? That looks like a bottle opener to me. This one. And then a Phillips. But no scissors. So, but for $5, you know, ain't bad. That's, and it's got a pair of pliers. So, but no scissors. And it's not a bad, it's not a horrible quality. Obviously, it is not a Leatherman. Okay. But Leathermans are upwards of $90 now. This is not bad for $5. So, like I said, if if you wanted to do this on the cheap, you can find, and it comes in a cute little sheath. You can find this stuff stupid cheap. And my goal was to make a whole bag for less than $50. So you can, you got your I'm not even sure this was $5. It may have been like $3 or something. It wasn't expensive. Um, so you can. I don't know that I would want to depend on getting out of a sticky situation with something that costs $5, but it is there. Roy says, here you need to be prepared. Most of Australia has no cell phone coverage. Yeah, that would, my son and I were talking the other day. If most 20-year-olds, I'm going to say most people under 30, okay, if they lost their cell phone, I think they would go out of their mind. Okay. People older, um, I don't know anybody. Let's put the bottom at 55, 60. Okay. I don't know anybody in that age group that has to immediately look at their phone every time it rings. If your phone rings and you're in the middle of a conversation or you're in the middle of, something else, it's okay. I can get back to him. So it's kind of ironic the progression that you see. Now my son is 30. Okay. If his phone rings, I promise you, he's going to at least look at it. Now, he may not answer it, depending on who it is, but he will at least look at it before it quits ringing. And when my phone rings, there's several times where I miss calls because I'm busy doing something else and I can't answer the phone right now. And I will look at it when I'm through whatever, if I have my hands in chicken or something and I hear the phone ring, oh well, when I get my hands clean, I will go see who's calling me. But younger people would go crazy if they had no cell phone service for an extended period of time. Yeah, just kind of a thing. Lewis says, just a file, not for fingernails. Thank you, because I don't really have, I don't do the whole long fingernail thing, but I would think that might cause some damage to your fingernails. Roy says wind up torches are best for emergency packs. Uh, yes, I 100% agree with that because they don't take batteries. This little thing, it takes one AAA battery. I usually have, if I'm gonna be gone for I kind of, I don't know. I know when I change the battery. I know about how much when it starts needing a new one type thing. And so I never let it get completely exhausted. But yes, in emergency situations, wind up flashlights or torches are definitely the way to go. I agree with that. Roy says I did an image for an ad recently. The three wise monkeys plus a new one on a cell phone. Right? Yes. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, I think. Or speak maybe in the center. I think it's hear, speak. Yeah, whatever. Um, and then see no evil. So yeah. Um, and then one on the cell phone, right? Yeah. Because it's a thing. Now I'm glad, that they're so comfortable with this stuff because you get somebody in their 60s and sometimes we're afraid to push buttons. Not everybody, but a lot of times, like, I'm hesitant. I don't want to. I don't want to blow something up and not know how to fix it. And younger people, because they grew up with this technology, they're not afraid of it, right? They'll just be hitting any buttons. And um, my grandson was playing on the computer today, and he came running in the kitchen and he's like, "Granny, I think I broke your computer." And I'm like, "Well, I'm pretty sure you didn't break it. Um, you know, I'll look at it, see if we can't fix it." And he's like, "No, I think I broke it." And I came in and he just had clicked on something and it opened a new page and it was a nothing, right? And he'll figure that out within another couple of years. But yeah, older people are a little bit more hesitant to click on that button to begin with. Mookie says, just FYI, the earthquake was centered in the Shawnee Prague area. Oh, okay. So, Kyle, you should have felt something. That's not too far from him. Like, that's a lot closer to him than it is us. So, Kyle, you should have felt something. Roy says, I never found a button I didn't like. Oh, you're one of those button pushers. I get it. Okay. Um, so, have you ever pushed a button on a computer or whatever it might be and inadvertently wiped everything out and not known how to get it back? See, I did that on one of my first computers. I wiped everything on the hard drive, the operating system and everything completely clean. Had to take it into the shop to get the like the heartbeat back. Yeah, the operating system. And yeah, it was not a good experience. And so that kind of set the stage for, okay, I'm going to push this, but can I undo it? Is there an undo button? Right? Like on what is it? I think it's Final Cut Pro, there's an undo button. And you can go back and undo several things, right? I like undo buttons. If I have an undo button, I'm way more likely to push the button to start with because I can undo it. So there's that. But guys, I think we are going to wrap up the anniversary edition. Uh, and again, thank you so, so much for spending your Friday nights with me and and with Peter. I know he appreciates it too, and it just, but for me, dropping that little boy off, it really, really pulls on my heart, and because he's very dramatic. He's very uh, emotionally dramatic, right? And he tries to hide in my truck. Like, we're not gonna see him. Everybody knows you're in my truck. You can hide all you want to. It's my truck's not that big, but he'll cower down and he'll hide, and and he just he just doesn't want to leave Granny, and I appreciate that, but it really leaves a hole in my heart when he leaves. So I hugely appreciate you guys being there to give me laughter therapy, because we always end up laughing about something, and it's usually something I've done that's dumb or whatever. But I hugely appreciate having your company on Friday after I have to deal with that. So thank you for being here. Since the 80s, all my computers have two partitions or drive. One of them the operating system, the other for files. Much safer. Yes, it is much safer. And I have no idea how to set that up. So, what I do, just because the Mac is so limited on space, is I operate everything off a 1 terabyte drive. And then the only thing that runs on the Mac's memory is like the operating system. Everything else comes off that 1 terabyte drive that's in the Hagibus thing. So it took me a little bit to kind of get used to that, but because with the PC, it's got two terabytes, I think. Um, and so I don't ever have to worry about it getting too full. But the Mac has, I think it's 256 gigabytes. So I do have to worry about it. And so running off the 1 terabyte has saved me a lot. But Mookie says, thanks for the fun, informative stream. Have a great week, everyone. Take some great photos. Yes. Yes. Just carry it with you. Just everywhere you go. Take pictures of life. Right? Roy says, all your files in one place is just waiting for disaster. Yes. I agree with that. I really do. As soon as I get through editing a video or whatever, it goes into a what I call an archive external drive. So it's completely off the computer and everything. So I keep my computer pretty much cleaned up, but it's just nice having the extra operating space of the 1 terabyte. So if I do like a really big file, I know I'm not going to run out of room. So, but guys, I love you to pieces. And we will see you for, I guess, episode 53, maybe next week. I probably should go in and count, make sure YouTube is right, because I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't counted them up. So, but either way, we've done these for a year, and that's pretty impressive that you guys have hung in with me that long. So, we picked up some newcomers on the way, and we're happy to have you. And we've still got the people that have been with me since day one. So thank you for all your support. And we'll do it again next week. So see you until then. I hope everybody stays well and safe. See you guys.